And look who just stopped by. There you go, gentlemen. Good morning.
Good morning.
Pull the microphones down in front of you. Pull it all the way down. There you go. So we're nice and close. Kipp is with us this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
And Jeff Widdowson, good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's good to have you both in the studio with us. You guys have been in the news recently, huh?
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, you did it perfectly.
Hey, you know.
Yeah.
For so many years, you two gentlemen have been with Luxenberg's Jewelers.
Yeah.
And just like the old razor commercial said, I liked it so much, I bought the company.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Yep.
true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Transaction is it complete yet?
It is.
It is.
complete.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And so you are the new owners of Luxemburg's Jewelers. 2 locations still?
Yep. Two
Yes.
locations.
Absolutely.
Indiana Mall and downtown Indiana.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's
Absolutely.
talk a little bit about it. Kipp, how long have you been with Luxemburg's?
I've been with Luxembourg for 26 years.
And Jeff?
I started in 1986, worked with Luxembourg's for 15 years, went out into the jewelry industry and other avenues, and I've just recently been back with Luxembourg's for the last 2 or 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yep.
So tell me about how this all came together, because that's not an easy business to break into, number one. And number two, you got to know your stuff.
Yeah. That's
Well-
one good thing about it. We've been with the company for that long. You know, when we're with the company for a long time, and you know, everyone knows everyone. I've known Jeff for a long time since we were young.
Absolutely. You know, the Luxembourg's tradition was promoting from within. From the very early days when Joe Luxembourg brought his cousin into the business, which was Leo Littman. Leo Littman ran the business after Joe left. Leo Littman partnered with Donald Zoney. Donald Zoney ran the business all the way up to when they incorporated in 1965. After that, Leo Littman wanted to retire, so Donald Zoney took on the mantle. In 2004, I believe it was, Don Zoney prepared to retire himself, and Michael Williams, a longtime employee, stepped up and became the owner of the company. Now Michael Williams would like to retire, and fortunately we've been in a position to allow him to be able to retire and transition the business to people that have been running the business or were taught from the beginning how to run Luxembourg's, the traditional, honest, and kind way that Luxembourg's has always been run.
Yeah, and it's known for.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
That reputation goes really a long way.
It's the most valuable thing we're buying over there. Our brand is not only jewelry, it's the ability to create, to fix, to repair people's broken jewelry, or take grandma's old style ring and remake it so that you still have grandma's memories, but you're adding a little bit of your own touch to it, and you're creating a new one-of-a-kind piece. Through the many, many contacts we have in this industry, we have been able to build some really fabulous jewelry.
Kipp, tell me about your personal journey to the position at which you find yourself now.
Yeah, my personal journey, as far as for me, you know, even before Luxembourg's, I was at the Indiana Country Club for 8 years. And knowing people at the Indiana Country Club and getting to know them as a young man really helped me also. Not only that, knowing the community and getting to know the community, you know, where I grew up, I didn't know a lot of people around the whole community. So for me, when I got to the club, it was nice because you saw people from every different aspects of life, as far as businessmen and businesswomen and people like that I get to share with, and they got to know me. And in knowing that, you know, I had a lot of help along the way. You know, and that's where I actually met Michael, was at the country club.
Oh, okay.
And Don Zoney at the country club.
Yeah.
So, you know, after I had left the club, I went to Luxembourg. Matter of fact, I was getting ready to buy a chain from a lady named Lisa Canan. And I was looking at it, and, you know, I wanted to purchase that chain, and I did. And I got a real knowing to Lisa, and then Michael, you know, even knowing him from the club. When I went to Luxembourg's, I said, oh, okay. And in that, you know, it was like, I think not even a year later, I went and asked for a job.
Yeah.
And then Michael stepped up and said, hey, Kipp, you know, I think I have a position for you.
How about that?
And I didn't even fill out an application. He just hired me, and
that's the best.
Isn't it? It is, and that's one thing. That's the blessing is I didn't have to fill out an application.
Yeah.
But getting to know and getting to learn. That's when my journey started at Luxembourg, and just started to know people over those years. Mm-hmm. And I've always been a people person. I've always dealt with people.
Yeah.
My father was like that, always a people person. And that's how I got to grow and learn, and then know the business through Michael and Don Zoni and Jim. Taught me a lot, and that's where I actually, knew Jeff more. I knew Jeff before that, but getting to really know him after that.
Still have the chain?
Yeah, no, I do not have the chain anymore.
Have the chain.
That's a long time ago. That's 26 years.
I bet you looked around, you could probably find that.
Yeah, I bet I could. But it's nice. It's been a great time and a great learning experience, and the experience is still growing as far as learning and everything that's new out there that you get to see. And I've been having a great time. So obviously,
Jeff, what about you? Your story's different, isn't it?
I started out, I loved Luxemberg's Jewelers. I mean, I really, really liked, I thought that was a really important job for me. I was like, before that, I was a busboy cleaning tables. My grandmother was a former employee with Luxemberg's Jewelers, and that's when I got my job as an engraver. And I'd go in a few hours every day, do some engraving work after they taught me how to use the machine. And then wanting a little bit more hours and wanting to get a little bit more into the Luxembourg's trade, I started wearing a necktie. I'd go out on the sales floor and try to make sales, and started selling people merchandise. And from that, Mike Williams let me just keep going.
Yeah, let you grow into it.
Yeah, let me grow into it. As long as we got to, we're doing positive business, and got into redesigning some store displays, merchandising. I went through Michael's tutelage, and then eventually came up to the Philadelphia Street Store and worked with Don Zoni and Jim Duncan. Worked with them for many, many years, and finally got to a point where I wanted to go out and find out what else is in the business. Mm-hmm. So I did a short stint with Red Oak Advertising, trying to expand my marketing ideas. And an opportunity came up with a local manufacturer in Pittsburgh to manufacture jewelry and sell it to 6 different states. So I got to travel, and I met thousands of jewelers, seeing how they did things, what worked for them, what really neat nuances they had. Got all just stored away in the back of my mind. And then when I met my wife, I wanted to get off the road. So I came back to selling jewelry in a jewelry store. Yeah. Michael has given me a lot of opportunities to explore a lot of those marketing ideas, different approaches to doing inventory, creating jewelry. Use some of those sources that I stumbled across back in my travels. Right now we have a wonderful designer. She specializes in 3D custom designing. She has a 3D software program that will make a 3-dimensional version of anything I ask her to make. Through 3D printing, they can print a wax version of exactly what she created.
Oh, yeah.
Saving so much time and so much money as the old traditional way where you had to carve the molds by hand. These things are produced with a machine. It takes maybe 15 minutes to create, and then you have a castable wax.
Yeah. Wow.
So now we can create anything under the sun for a fraction of what it used to cost us to build. So it's opening up a lot of custom business for us.
It's amazing how the industry changes. Even within
absolutely.
Within any industry,
Absolutely.
there's going to be change and technological improvements.
Yes.
And you know what doesn't change is the employees. We have employees that have been around for a long time. And that's the great thing about it, too. We all are as one, because we know. Mm-hmm. We've been there.
Yeah.
Not only us, but the employees that Jeff and I have now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They've been there.
And
know it. And that's what makes everything go.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can count on them, to help and do.
So the question becomes, what next for Luxembourg's? The two of you are now going to own this business and look toward the future.
Absolutely.
Are we?
Yeah.
I would assume we'll expect the same great level of care and service.
Absolutely.
Without a
and-
doubt.
Absolutely.
The Luxenberg brand, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right now, Todd, we're expanding on our current shop situation. We're putting new machinery in there. We have a wonderful new goldsmith. We just picked her up at the end of last year. She is a mother of two. She was out of the industry for a little bit, raising her children.
Yeah.
Now her children have grown up, and she's wanting back into the industry. And I can't find a better place for her to work than with us in the traditional Luxembourg's jewelry shop. We're putting in new equipment. We're going to expand our services. Hopefully we can have everything that we need to do in the jewelry trade as far as sizing, repair, setting, under one roof here in Indiana.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we'll look forward to continued years and years
Absolutely.
of the Luxembourg's
Absolutely.
name,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and always expect that wonderful care and service.
Service and quality.
Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming in to share some time with us.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate you
Thanks,
coming
Tom.
in to visit. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS AM 1160, 101.1 FM.